Working all right.
It is at the moment, yeah.
I'm not getting levels, it looks like, though. I'm getting very low levels. Like way down there. 1, 2. 1, 2. There's an error loading app that happens. Yeah. All right. Test, test, test. Test. Ah, okay. So
test
down.
1, 2. Test 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there's some static in the headset though. Check 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
I can talk a little bit. Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Sounds okay. I don't love the fuzz in the headsets, but that might just be because of where you guys have the adapter. Yeah,
oh no, the gain was all the way up on the crowd mic.
Yeah. Well, it has to be though to be able to hear anything, or at least that was the case.
Now it is. What if we turn the mics down? Hear what that says. All right, so I can hear myself right now.
What do you have going right now?
I just turned the mics down below the crowd mic.
Okay. But I'm not hearing you very well in my ear right now, though.
I can hear you decently.
Okay.
I can hear you fine.
Can you just level up those headphones, make sure they're the same, or roughly the same?
Okay, yeah, that's why I can't hear you very well either. So can we turn them up a little bit?
Yeah.
All right.
Because that doesn't impact. Yeah, see, that sounds a lot better now.
All right,
Levels
cool.
are all right. So
Levels are okay?
Should be okay.
Okay, we'll just mute these up.
Yeah.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Durand Park for Game 2 of a home and away set between the Hyannis Harbor Hawks and the Bourne Braves. Hyannis dropped the tight one last night, storming back from a 7-1 deficit all the way to 7-6 in the bottom of the 8th, but ultimately falling short. However, revenge is in the air tonight as they send Brooks Crawford out to the hill against Leland out here in Durand Park. Alongside me, Chris Lucy's my broadcast partner, Chris Walker. And Chris, a deflating loss for the Harbor Hawks last night, but today's a new day.
Well, yeah, it was certainly frustrating to come all the way back and score 5 in the bottom of the 8th, kind of like Falmouth did to us a couple of days ago when they scored 7. But it was certainly good to see the run scored. It's just at the wrong time in the game. If that happened in the first inning, it would have been a totally different look and probably a Hyannis win, but that's just how it goes. But I don't think it was deflating exactly. I think it was deflating if they would have lost 7-1. But they did come back 7-6. The pitching was great for Bourne in the end of the game, obviously, with 3 strikeouts to end the game for Hyannis. But I think it's certainly good to have the momentum going in the right direction like they did in the 8th.
That's true. Ryan Feltner came on to shut the door for the Braves last night in the bottom of the 9th. Got those 3 strikeouts and didn't throw too many pitches. So he may or may not be in the cards tonight for the Braves if they need him, but coming out on the mound to start things off will be the big righty out of Orland Park, Illinois, Sean Leland. Out 2017 due to eligibility issues, but went 4-0 in his freshman year at Louisville in 4 innings pitched.
You know, I'm excited to watch this pitching matchup today, and obviously for us, we got Brooks Crawford from Clemson, but I'm really, really excited to see these two guys go at it because yesterday was kind of a higher scoring game, and I think we could have expected that just because of, you know, the way both teams have been playing with the big innings, and both teams had a couple of big innings, well, at least one big inning. I think this game is going to be more of a pitcher's duel because of Leland and Crawford.
Certainly could be. Crawford has been dominant so far, offering a mid-90s fastball. It'll be a righty-on-righty matchup on the mound, and this Western Division contest could not be coming at a better time for the Harbor Hawks as they're fighting to get their way out of the bottom, not only of the Western Division, but also of the entirety of the league. Right now at 3-5, the Harbor Hawks have the worst record in the CCBL and have their backs to the wall, although the standings aren't necessarily the biggest worry for either team at the moment. You want to keep yourself from getting buried at this point in the young season. And if Hyannis continues to struggle on the offensive end as they have over the first couple days, it could be trouble and they could find themselves backed into a wall as things get going. However, Leland will be taking the mound today for Bourne. Again, he sat out the 2017 season at Illinois, transferring from Louisville, where just a lot of young talent has been coming out. Hay, who went in the first round of this year's MLB draft and is a Bourne Braves alumnus. It'll be Leland's Cape League debut. Actually, it'll be his first start, I should say. He pitched 1 2/3 innings earlier this year, surrendered a hit, and also garnered a strikeout in that appearance.
Again, a lot of these guys, Chris, you know what's interesting? A lot of the guys that we see starting now in week 2 are guys that had 1 appearance of 1 inning or so in week 1. Like, I think we've seen that in the past 3 or 4 games where the starter had 1 inning pitched already this season in relief, and they're just trying to figure out who can start. It's still kind of like that feeling out process, even though we're getting into the meat of the season.
That's true. Also, maybe just a little bit of a reward for a good outing for a starting pitcher.
Oh, absolutely. And when you have a good outing, you'll get started. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Nick Sandlin start games for us this year just because of how good he's been. You know, he's posted such good numbers this season for Hyannis, and his numbers are. His ERA is 1.17 through 7 2/3 innings. The only guy that's thrown more than him, guys, Coulter and Ryan Weiss. Those are both starters. He's the 3rd highest innings-wise. He hasn't made a single start. I think they're going to start him down the stretch. You know, towards the end of the season, especially when the bullpen gets tight like it is.
The Deceptive Sidearmer had himself a bounce-back performance last night after giving up a home run in the game before against Falmouth. Came in and got 3 consecutive outs with a runner that wasn't his responsibility over on first base.
Right. It was really impressive to watch. I told you there were a lot of positives. We know that from yesterday's game. The pitching in the second half of the game was great, only allowing 2 runs after that 5-run outburst in the second and third by Bourne. But the pitching was good for the most part, especially Sandlin. Larison had a pretty good outing. And, you know, there wasn't really anything to be upset about after the game was over, except you gave up 7 runs.
That's true, and a lot to be proud of for the Harbor Hawks as they were able to score 5 in the bottom of the 8th, but they came just a little bit short. However, today is a new day, and the Harbor Hawks have another chance to right the ship and end that 3-game now losing streak.
And they're also at the bottom of the league. They're the only team with 3 wins on the season. Everybody else has 4, 5, or 6. Yarmouth Dennis is 6-1-1. They're on top of the league, but Hyannis would love, and I'd love to see them get out of the cellar.
Hyannis, before getting out of the cellar, has to rise for the national anthem. We'll take a quick pause here on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. Stay tuned. This game about to get underway here from Durand Park.
Braves historian Dudley Jensen and the mother of Braves secretary Nancy Jo Weston celebrated their 63rd wedding anniversary. The entire Braves community extends their condolences to Dudley, Nancy, and her husband Pete. Please bow your heads now in a moment of silence in honor of Vivian. Please stay standing and remove your caps for the singing of our national anthem. The field this evening are players and coaches from Bourne Youth Baseball. Singing tonight's anthem, who is owner of Music by the Bay and a music teacher in the Bourne public school system.
What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous sky. But we watched the street and the rockets bursting through the night. The light of the flag was still there. Saying the flag stars spangled banner yet waving. On land of the free and the home of parade.
So what we can try to do is if we switch networks mid-game, the stream is going to cut out and we'll have to start a new stream.
I know.
Ladies and gentlemen, throwing out tonight's ceremonial first pitch is Jill Slater. She is escorted by Jeff Slater, who is the general manager with Majors RV, New England's largest RV parts and accessories dealer, and they are located right here in Bourne on MacArthur Boulevard. He is a long-time Braves sponsor.
We could just we could switch now if you want. All right, then we'll just do that.
Is sponsored by the Boswell County.
Welcome back on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. My broadcast partner, Chris Walker, over to my right, and Chris Lucy joining you from Durand Park, where the Hyannis Harbor Hawks look to break a 3-game losing streak and start their climb out of the cellar of the CCBL Western Division against the first place Bourne Braves.
It would feel good to beat not only a team we beat that beat us last night, but also the first place team and get back into the middle. And everybody's saying, Chris, going into the middle 20 games of the season now, that the first 10 are out of the way. Everybody's saying as long as you're in the middle of the pack, as long as you're treading water, you can make the stretch run. And they're not, and the Harbor Hawks are not quite there yet, so they need to string together a few starting tonight.
Well, they'll have to string this one together against Sean Leland, the 6'5" right-hander out of Orland Park, Illinois, playing his college ball at Illinois Urbana-Champaign. Sat out 2017 due to eligibility issues, but expect big things from him on the mound. And lining up behind him at first base will be Spencer Brickhouse. Brickhouse coming out of East Carolina. Catching for him today will be Lyle Lynn out of Arizona State University. And second base is Grant Williams. Third base, Jake Alou out of BC Williams from Kennesaw State. Shortstop, of course, will be Turner Brown, another East Carolina product. And left to right in the outfield, we have Scott Schreiber, Jameson Hanna, and Grant Witherspoon.
And Chris, not surprising, Bourne has Schreiber in the cleanup spot today in the order, which for good reason, because he had a 3-run home run in the second inning. Yes, they get things started for Bourne. Everybody saw that coming today. That's all yesterday's game.
Two-time Big Ten Player of the Year was Schreiber, so makes sense that you see him in the heart of the lineup, and that certainly was a huge shot for Bourne yesterday and played a huge role in their one-run win.
I'm excited to get going today and erase the memory of yesterday. How about this crowd tonight? This is a big crowd here in Bourne.
Sure is, coming out to see the Western Division matchup. And starting things off with the Harbor Hawks is Jake Mangum out of Mississippi State University. He's followed up by Reese Hampton from Charlotte. And in the 3 spot, Dan Robinson out of Central Michigan University. We'll get the rest of the batting order after the first pitch from Leland. The righty comes to the set. Mangum in the lefty batter's box. The first pitch hit on a line and over the head of a jumping Alou at third base and into the outfield for a base hit. Schreiber cuts it off down the left field line, and Mangum rounds first with a single.
1 pitch, 1 hit. That's how you like to start a game. If you're Hyannis, they've gotten off to good starts. They got, a leadoff hit in the last couple of games, and then they turn into double plays. That's the key tonight. Don't turn it into any double plays. That's my one key to winning.
The double play ball has killed Hyannis as Reese Hampton steps up to the left-handed batter's box. They've grounded into 12 so far this season. And the first pitch from Leland hit on the ground over towards second. Williams ranging towards the first base line, throws over to Spencer Brickhouse to get one. Moving Mangum over to second base.
It's not the worst thing. He got his job done. 1 out. Now a man in scoring position for the 3-hitter Robinson. But you would have liked to hit, but you got a guy in scoring position that makes the double play a lot harder. And Chris, you know something? Today is Little League Day here in Bourne. That's why there's a lot of kids here. Expect the foul balls. Everybody's going to be jumping out of their seats. It's like half kids.
Dan Robinson now in the left-handed batter's box and a packed left field stand. Runner on second base is Mangum, reached with a hit to start things off, and Robinson ropes one down the right field line, called just foul.
Good swing. Good first out. They're, Hyannis is swinging early in counts, and it's hurt them before, but they've gotten some good pieces in the beginning here, and they made Leland feel probably pretty uncomfortable about himself and not even letting him settle in.
Well, Leland hasn't really thrown too much this year, not getting a single inning of work at Illinois during that redshirt year.
Well rested, though.
Indeed, only less than 2 innings on the CCBL season, and he throws an 0-1 strike on the outside corner. Count now 0-2.
Today's also autograph day. The players are going to sign autographs for the fans, so that's another reason why there's a lot of kids here.
Just one of many reasons to come out to the Cape every year and see these great players do their thing. You get closer to them now than you'll be able to in a couple years when you see a lot of them playing pro. The 0-2 to Robinson, high and outside. Count 1-2.
And then, Chris, it's a beautiful Saturday afternoon. It looked like we were going to get rained out this morning, but it turned into one of the nicer days we've had on the Cape since you and I have been up here.
Yep, it was raining earlier today, so the infield took a little bit more maintenance than usual, but still a beautiful day for baseball. Leland looks back. Mangum at second base, who has a 2-step lead. And the 1-2. Just missing outside. Count 2-2.
No, got up to almost 80 today, and it's going to be just like that tomorrow for our doubleheader with Katuitt. So we're getting lucky. Now, we had terrible weather last week, and now we've got great weather this past whole week.
Harbor Hawks certainly for the series between their first round 2. Slow curveball in on the hands of Robinson. He just shoots it up the middle. Brown.
Good thing Mangum didn't get too far off second base. That had double play written all over it, but he was alert, got back to the base in time.
He maintains the inning for the Hawks down now. Stepping to the righty. Leland let up a leadoff single to Mangum, and he's the only base runner. He's gotten 2 out. First pitch in the dirt. Count 1-0.
Lots of scouts here on this Saturday, all with their radar guns.
Behind home plate in the usual scout position. Side. 2-0 count on Coffee. Runner on second base is Mangum. We're just under what Harbor Hawks. Don DiCaprio in the on deck. Called strike. Down to 2-1, and a beautiful day, as you mentioned, Chris. Blue of the field, right, where there's a significant backstop.
It's not in our eyes for once, which is good.
Sure is a good thing. We're just under the shade here down the first base line. 2-1 to Coffee. High and outside. Fastball missing, and the rest may be a little bit apparent for Leland as control.
Yeah, he hasn't thrown a lot. He's been high. He's been releasing too early on a lot of his fastballs early on.
The 3-1. Inside, ball 4. That one high in sight, as you said, Chris. Puts Micah Coffee on, and with 2 outs, there's runners on first and second.
And it brings up Dom DiCaprio. And actually, I had a talk about 15 minutes before game time with Hunter Stovall, who's still looking for his first hit. He said, hopefully I could get a hit. And then I compared him to Ford Proctor and Dom, and he goes, well, sometimes just coming off the college, you're tired, and it just takes you that extra to get going. You need some rest. And then the rest counteracts what you're trying to do, and then you're cold when you start the season. That's what's happened.
Don DiCaprio trying to reverse that now. Over his first 16 in 4 games in the Cape. He stands in the right-handed batter's box. The righty Leland sets. Runners on first and second, 2 away. Mangum go. The throw down from got him. Mangum slides in head first, but right into the tag of a waiting Alou, and there's 3 away.
The roost of the dugout is out of the bullpen.
Well, that's not how you want to end an inning, Chris, on a throw out from a steal with 2 on. Well, DiCaprio gets another chance at least.
Yep. DiCaprio will get another chance at the top half of the second, but first, the bottom of the first. Jameson Hanna, Grant Williams, and Grant Witherspoon due up for the Braves when we return. The 1, 2, 3 of the Braves order on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. Stick around. Back on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network, coming to you live from Durand Park, where the Harbor Hawks are taking on the Bourne Braves. Game 2 of a 2-game set. Hyannis lost last night and went down in the top of the first, but here come things going against Jamison Hyannis, Dallas Baptist. The first pitch to Crawford. A big swing and a miss out of Hannah.
Right, that's right, Chris. And Crawford has been great. So Hyannis, 4 innings pitched, no runs given up. He started 1 game, 2 hits, 3 strikeouts, no walks.
And the next pitch to Hannah, flipped foul behind home. In on the hands, count 0-2.
Obviously, 6'5", 226. Righty. He's a big boy up there.
And now he looks down an 0-2. The pitch to Hannah. Hit on a rope down the right field line. If it stays fair, it's trouble. And it is a ground rule double, bouncing just in front of the warning track and leaving the ballpark.
Oh, that's just a good hit by Hannah. He turned on one. He got all of it. And that low fence, I think that fence is only 4 feet tall at the very most out there. And it's easy for a ball to get over it.
Yep, about 360 feet to get to right field, however. So Hannah did put a hurting on it. And it brings up Grant Williams with a runner in scoring position. Nobody away here in the bottom of the first. Still knotted at 0 from Durand Park. Crawford, the righty, scoring up a lefty at the plate. The first pitch, high and outside. Williams squaring it back, takes ball 1.
Williams came on to pinch hit in the 9th inning yesterday and struck out looking.
Batting .278 on the season. The 1-0. Scores around for another bunt and another outside pitch from Crawford as Don DiCaprio comes out from behind home plate to check up on the big righty.
And, you know, it seems even the best of pitchers on this team have had their issues in the past couple of games. You know, all of them struggling at some point, so you really hope Crawford doesn't follow that trend because they need a good start tonight. They need a long start tonight.
Exhausted after some lackluster offerings from the starting staff.
6 innings plus tonight.
And the 2-0. That one a called strike. Nick DeMarchi making the call over the outside corner. Count 2-1.
Well, now you got to think, Chris. You got Tripp today. And everybody else has pitched in the past 2 days. Literally everybody.
The 2-1. Slapped foul behind home. Evens the count at 2-2. And they have a good guy up there. The track record with Crawford is he's dependable through 4 innings and start against the Harwich Mariners and was pretty good.
Yeah, he didn't allow a run.
Struck out 3 as well. Puts the ball in play.
I want to see Barlow pitch again tonight because he deserves another shot.
The 2-2 from Crawford. Hit on a line right at a waiting Ford Proctor up the middle. And there's 1 away.
Now I need right fielder, number 22.
But back to Barlow, he had a terrible outing. He only won a third of an inning and gave up 4 runs a couple of days ago in Falmouth. That's not him. That's not the Barlow we know from college, from Mississippi State. That is not Mississippi State numbers. So he deserves another shot.
4 at-bats on the season. Stands up there with a runner on second base, Jamison Hannah, reaching with that leadoff double. Witherspoon takes a first pitch ball, standing in the left-handed batter's box. The righty Crawford behind 1-0.
How about 2 guys in a row in your order named Grant?
Fascinating. And also, bottom of the order, there's 2 guys in a row from East Carolina in the 8 and 9 spots. The 1-0 just misses again. Count now 2-0.
Very interesting lineup this team's got. Witherspoon's got a lot of stolen bases. He stole one last night. He's got 5 on the year, so if he gets on, look for him to move.
He gets on, he might just send Jamison Hannah home. Also a speedster out of Dallas Baptist University. Here's the 2-0. Low and away. Crawford now behind 3-0.
Witherspoon has drawn the most walks on this team with 6, so he certainly knows how to stand in there. He's a complete player, hitting .292 as well. 3 doubles already. Sorry, Chris.
All good. The sun pouring in from behind us here, so definitely not obscuring his eyesight. Hannah goes And Don DiCaprio eats it as Coffey didn't get back to third base in time, and that's ball 4 to Witherspoon, who gets his 7th walk of the season.
39 from the University of Nebraska.
Well, Witherspoon's a complete
Schreiber.
baseball player, and he's showing it already with this now. As you said, 7th walk. I mean, every number, he's got pretty much the lead on his team. He leads the team in doubles. He has the only triple on the team. He's got the 2nd most hits. He's just got good stuff. And expect him to move because you don't want 1st and 3rd one out. You want 2nd and 3rd, and he certainly has the ability to steal.
He does, and the ability to drive runners home. He stands in the right-handed batter's box, takes ball 1 low and away.
We found that out the hard way last night now, didn't we, with the 3-run shot?
Runners on base now.
And that just puts you away so early with a home run, especially a home run. It just deflates you as a team, and that's what happened to Hyannis.
A big mark on what ended up being a 1-run game as Witherspoon draws a throw back from Crawford on the mound. Count remains 1-0. Hyannis and Bourne still locked up at 0 here in the bottom of the 1st. 1 hit apiece. Runners on the corners. The 1-0. Called strike on the inside corner. Breaking ball riding in on Schreiber, who's batting .400 in only 10 at-bats this year, but that home run and 4 RBIs looming large with runners on base and 1 in scoring position. The speedy Jamison Hanna. The 1-1 coming. Runner goes to second. DiCaprio tries to make a throw down, but loses the ball in the transition, and that's a free base for Grant Witherspoon, and now there are 2 runners in scoring position.
Make it 6 stolen bases on the year to extend his lead. Nobody else has more than 1. So that's pretty impressive from Witherspoon, but that's what Bourne wants to do. Now they got 2 on and 1 out.
With the 2-time Big Ten Player of the Year, Scott Schreiber, standing at the plate. He swings at strike 2, however, evening the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Chris, you know what I find amazing? Both times a runner has stolen in this inning, DiCaprio's lost the ball or didn't throw the ball.
Off to an inauspicious start behind home plate is DiCaprio, still looking for his first hit of the CCBL season. 2. Hit high in the air down the right field line, coming out from first base is Donovan to try and make a play over his shoulder, and the ball bounces away from him. Long run for Donovan, almost making the play, though.
From Donovan, who we haven't really seen play first base that much this year. He's been on third for a while. He had the day off yesterday. He hasn't been swinging the bat all that well, but good effort.
Indeed, and now we do the 2-2 over again. Runners on second and third. Bottom of the first, still scoring, but the Braves are threatening, and Brooks Crawford with only 1 away. He comes to the set. The righty kick low and away, trying to waste one, loads the count at 3 balls, 2 strikes.
And the control problems are getting to Crawford now. Already 1 walk this inning, in danger of walking the bases loaded in the 1st.
They're contagious.
That's right. It seems that.
And now Crawford sets again. The payoff pitch coming. Here goes. Hit on a line and fair down the third base side. That scores Hanna easy. Grant Witherspoon comes around third base. He will score. And stopping up at second base with a 2 RBI double is Scott Schreiber.
What a piece of hitting there right down the line. And all the way to the fence, and you score 2 runs easily. And there it is, 2-0 Bourne already.
The Braves out to an early lead here. Only the bottom of the first. Crawford already behind the 8 ball with 1 away. And with the aforementioned Schreiber standing on second base, Lyle Lynn comes up. Lyle in 27 at-bats on the year, batting .296. Stands at the right-hand side. The righty Crawford comes to the set. Looks back the runner at second and deals. High and inside. Count now 1-0. Bourne with only 1 more hit than the Harbor Hawks, 2, but that second hit was a ripper of a double from Schreiber that scored 2 base runners and put the Braves ahead 2-0.
Placed perfectly down that third base line.
And the 1-0 from Crawford is a breaking ball that draws a swing and a miss from Lynn.
You know, I couldn't help but notice that the Bourne Braves took the Atlanta Braves. I don't know what you call the chant they have that they play in Atlanta. I like it, but it's not our team, so I can't like it.
No, but the tomahawk chop getting a lot of use tonight as there's a huge crowd here in Bourne. Now the 1-1 from Crawford. Low and inside. Count 2-1 on Lynn.
You know, you were talking about it being contagious, that, you know, the struggles, and it's amazing with a guy like Crawford, a guy that we were looking forward to seeing pitch. He's already in a lot of trouble here with only 1 out. He's already given up 2, and there's men on base still. It really is contagious.
Here's the 2-1 from Crawford. That one low and outside. Count now 3-1, and it's not like he's struggling against any slouches. Bourne, the first place team in the Western Division, but again, with that sun coming in his eyes right now as he's a righty out on the mound, might just be causing a little bit of trouble for him as he's trying to spot up with Don DiCaprio, who's kind of got a shadow cast over him at the moment by the home plate umpire, Nick DeMarchi. Here's the 3-1. Set high in the air, but foul and out of play.
Kids are on it.
Of course. First week of summer here, so first Saturday of summer. Kids have come out in droves to see the Braves play today.
Picked a good day to do it.
Yep, be a good day for the Harbor Hawks to cut out that 3-game losing streak as well. Haven't gotten off to a great start, down 2-0 with a runner on second base. And the payoff pitch from Crawford is in the dirt, ball 4. Lynn gets on the second walk of the inning for the Braves and brings up Jake Alou, the third baseman from Boston College.
Well, Lynn just worked his second walk of the season. He has 8 hits, though. He leads the team in hits, so I could see why you don't want to play games. So they're already going to have a meeting with Crawford because they know this. They know this story all too well.
Yep, there's Ray Korn, pitching coach for the Harbor Hawks, having a word with the big righty. He's gotten himself into a good deal of trouble early on here. Put the first runner on base with a double, then walked Grant Witherspoon and surrendered a 2 RBI double to Scott Schreiber, who still stands on second base after the walk to Lynn.
I would imagine the pitch count is already in the mid-20s at this point for Crawford in the first inning, only with 1 out. It's not good.
No, especially as you mentioned, the Harbor Hawks with such a taxed bullpen already.
You can't go to the bullpen in the first inning. I mean, this game is going to be over in a hurry if that happens. But, I mean, you can, but that would just really be harmful to everybody's arms. They're going to have to get us out there to pitch.
Let's hope we can avoid that. Jake Alou standing in the left-handed batter's box against the righty. And the first pitch is a strike.
We could sign up. We could tell Coach Gassman. We got arms. I mean, they don't work that great, but we got them still. You need the ball over the plate? Yeah, probably. We could get it there.
Would probably look pretty appetizing for these Cape League hitters, but I digress. The 0-1. Hit on the ground down to second. And Ford Proctor throws over to second base, but they say that Hunter Stovall came off the bag. However, the umpire up the middle says no. They get the lead runner at second. However, the runner at first, Alou, is safe, and Schreiber moves over to third base.
Oh, boy, is Hyannis lucky that was called an out because Stovall took his foot off the bases. The throw was very low, but they get away with one. We'll take it.
And with that, there's 2 away. Here comes Logan McCray, the designated hitter out of the College of Charleston, in the 7th spot. Stands at the right-handed batter's box with runners on the corners. And the next pitch is a strike. Little breaking ball right there from Crawford.
Haven't seen much of it.
No. And it brings the count to 0-1.
He's been throwing a lot of fastballs, and he's been missing with a lot of them. Hasn't had a chance to mix in the breaking pitches.
Appears though the visit from Ray Korn settling him down a little bit. Here's the 0-1. A strike, high and outside. There's the fastball. That one spotting up.
Crawford right there. He's 1 pitch away from getting out of it, not being damaged too badly. You don't want to go down 3 in the first.
Into 2-0. Coming to the set, a strike away from ending a big inning, and the 0-2 is fouled off the netting behind home. We'll do the 0-2 over again in just a second.
Well, I got to say it, I don't think we're going to get one tonight either. It would have to be popped straight up in the air for us to get one.
Nope, our hunt for a souvenir down here continues in Bourne. Crawford again getting ready for that 0-2. Moves the ball in his hand behind his back, comes to the set. The righty agrees with DiCaprio and throws back to first base. That keeps Alou sliding in safely. He'll stay at first. And another runner on the corner in Schreiber. First and third, 0-2, 2 down. And the next pitch is a curveball, hangs in the zone and is hammered foul.
Good battle.
Great battle, but Logan McCray times that one up better, and that one's between the lines and probably trouble for the Harbor Hawks.
They'll like to keep it foul, but Crawford has certainly, you mentioned he settled down after the meeting on the mound. He's making a lot better decisions with his pitches.
And now Crawford comes to the set again. The 0-2 with runners on first and third. The pitch hit on the ground up the third base side. A diving stop from Coffey, and he can't get anybody. He gets up, and as he does, Scott Schreiber scores and puts the Harbor Hawks behind 3-0.
Well, I said you don't want to be down 3-0 after the first inning, and it's still not over yet. It's just going to be another tough night hitting. You're already down 3 after 1. It doesn't really get much harder than that.
Nope, and the Harbor Hawks, even with that run across the board, still aren't out of the woods here with a runner still in scoring position in Jake Alou at second base.
It was a good dive by Coffey, but just no time to throw it.
He did the Harbor Hawks a favor keeping that one in the infield as the first pitch to Spencer Brickhouse, first baseman out of East Carolina, is fouled back.
How about that name, Brickhouse?
If only he played for the Commodores.
Oh, that would be too perfect, wouldn't it?
We get a little Lionel Richie action in there. He's batting .250, however, in 16 at-bats on the season. Stands at the left side. Crawford, the righty, in the set. And the next pitch is fouled down the third base line and shatters the bat.
I'll take it. He could give it to me. We could add to our collection, make a chair or something like Mariano.
Maybe. I know you have an affinity for broken bats and things of that nature.
Yeah, I got 2 already. I could use that and my broken hockey sticks. We'll be good to go. We can make a bench.
Another place to sit back in our house.
Sure.
Sounds like fun. Planes flying overhead here at Durand Park. Beautiful day. Packed stand down the third base side, bleeding out to left field.
I don't know about you, but I think this is the most people I've seen at a game.
Definitely not a stretch to say.
Probably close to 500-600 people in that stand.
Now the 0-2 from Crawford, and it's roped foul down left field, out of play.
The net isn't all that high for the amount of people here once it gets past to the dugout of Bourne.
No, definitely not, as there's someone getting a little bit of work in the Braves bullpen. Still nobody stirring out in the Harbor Hawks pen. Crawford with a vote of confidence. He settles in for the 0-2. High and outside, ball 1. Harbor Hawks already down 3-0 here in the bottom of the first. Crawford let up a leadoff double, and after giving up a walk, Scott Schreiber doubled in 2 runs, and then a single from Logan McCray brought in the third. McCray stands on first base. And the 1-2 is sent high in the air out of play down the third base line. We'll do the 1-2 again.
Oh, that ball got way up there. It bounced above the trees. Kids are on it, of course.
Of course. Hanging for a long time in a beautiful blue sky. Expecting earlier today, as it was overcast and rainy for the most part today. However, we're still able to get a ball game in here down in Bourne. Another one fouled off just about the same place down the third base line.
Oh, I'll tell you what, Chris, Crawford must be near 40 pitches already.
Certainly getting close, as Bourne has worked him over in the bottom of the first, already putting 3 runs on the board.
Long inning.
Certainly has. Now Crawford to the set. Runners on first and second. Trying to end it on the 1-2 pitch. It's in the dirt. Dom DiCaprio blocks it. Comes out from behind home plate to keep everybody on base.
Well, I'll tell you what, we started at 6 o'clock. Even if it was a couple minutes after, it's now 6:33. We've been at this one inning for half an hour. And the Harbor Hawks didn't have a terrible inning. They had 5 guys come up. So it's been a lot.
Harbor Hawks, however, still struggling with runners on base as Mangum was thrown out stealing to end the inning. Now the 2-2 from Crawford. Low and away, and it loads the count again.
If Brickhouse gets on base, that'll be 9 batters if Brown gets up in one inning. And it's the same story as the past couple of days. It's really getting old.
And Crawford once a pitch away from ending the inning, now a pitch away from loading the bases. The 3-2 hit on the ground up the middle. Hunter Stovall scoots over to his right, fires down to first base where Donovan makes the stretch, and they get the final out.
The Bourne Braves and the Hyannis Harbor Hawks.
And now we'll go into the top of the second. Dom DiCaprio will get another turn at the plate, followed by Hunter Stovall and Ford Proctor. The fun we return on the Digital Network. It was first Bourne putting up 3 runs on Hyannis looks to strike back when we return. Stick around. Welcome back here to Durand Park here in Bourne, Massachusetts. Chris Walker, my broadcast partner. I'm Chris Lucy, and the Harbor Hawks are down 3-0 after a big bottom of the first for the Braves. Dom DiCaprio comes up to start things in the top of the second.
Batters to get their first hits in a hurry, DiCaprio and Stovall.
Pitch is a looping breaking ball from Leland. Back out for the second. Starts the count 1-0.
That would be just a great time for each of their first hits.
DiCaprio with the 0 for 16 on the young season. Holds the bat high over his head, and the 1-0 is cut on and fouled off the ankle of Lynn behind home.
And when you're struggling, and you can consider it struggling, as you just mentioned the numbers, you just got to find little positives. Now, oh, did I square the ball up? Am I fouling it off straight behind home plate? You know, am I getting good looks at the ball? And then eventually you'll just break out of it like Ford Proctor.
Now the 1-1. A strike over the outside corner, just around the belt. Count 1-2. Dom DiCaprio having to defend the plate and really earn that first hit of the season. He stands in the right-handed batter's box. The righty deals. Looping breaking ball, just missing outside. Brings the count to 2-2.
It's a close call right there. DiCaprio got lucky.
Yep. DiCaprio standing in the righty batter's box wearing his blue away Hyannis Harbor Hawks jersey. Here's the set and the 2-2 from Leland. Curveball missing again. Loads the count at 3-2. The Braves countering with their home whites, red sleeves, red lettering across the chest, and a red cap with a dark blue bill. White pants as well, completing the ensemble, and a payoff pitch. Checked, and they call a strike 3. Dom DiCaprio running down, draws a throw from Lynn behind home plate, and not Count that as a strikeout and just an error.
Well, the first time DiCaprio's been on base this season, and that's one of those things that it's a small little tiny positive that you could find out of nothing. That was on base percentage was at 0 before this, so that's a step in the right direction.
And now here comes Hunter Stovall in his 4th game of CCBL action, looking for his first hit in his 12th at bat. Takes high and inside. Count 1-0. Runner on first base is DiCaprio. Reached on a dropped strike 3.
First time you've ever said that this year.
Yep. And the 1-0. Curveball. This one catching the outside corner. Leland.
It's a good looking.
And when it's paired with that high 80s, low 90s fastball, definitely a good change of pace. Now the 1-1. Hit up the middle and past the diving Brown into center field for a base hit. DiCaprio stops up at second, and Hunter Stovall rounds first base with his first hit of the season.
That had some kind of plan when I talked to him today. He seemed pretty determined that it was going to come. He said, I'm going to stay relaxed and not think about not getting hits. It's going to come, and there it is. And now the two guys that haven't been on base all year get on base.
And here comes Ford Proctor to drive them in. Rice teammates with the man on second, DiCaprio. Proctor stands in the lefty batter's box, runners on first and second, and nobody out.
I like your confidence to drive them in.
And the pitch, high and outside. Brings the count to 1-0. Well, Hyannis needs some runs on the board. They're down 3-0 here in the top of the second.
3 would be nice this inning.
Well, Proctor's the tying run at the plate. Leland sets. Looks back to DiCaprio at second, being held on by Brown. And Proctor squares for a bunt and tips it back behind home. Evens the count at 1-1. Tried to pull a little Ichiro action on that bunt, just leaving the left-handed batter's box as he stuck the bat out.
It was a weird-looking bunt, but it almost worked. He just got under it.
Drag bunt attempt from Proctor. Now he stands upright. The 1-1. And it's clubbed out to right field and deep. Witherspoon going back to the wall. And it bounces just in front of the warning track. That brings DiCaprio home to score. Hunter Stovall rounds third. He will score. And that brings Ford Proctor to third base with a 2 RBI triple.
Well, that's exactly what this team needed, Chris. And it's the 3 guys that have had the hardest time getting going, and they all contribute. And that's what happens. You get leadoff men on however you can. DiCaprio does his job and runs the first. Boom, it's a 1-run game.
3 Bourne, but Hyannis threatening here in the top of the second. And now here comes Robert Newstrom.
Chris, how about the power of Proctor that we've seen this season? And that's only his 4th hit, but the first one was a home run, and he's hit the ball so hard, and that one nearly getting out. This is a deep park.
Right field fence is 360 feet. That drive had to be 359.
Right, yes. And Hyannis said with the 318 fence in right field, that would have been gone, no doubt.
Surely. Leland throwing over to third base, seeing if Hunter Stovall touched third. However, the third base umpire Lou DeLuise calling everybody safe.
Newstrom with the 3rd most hits this season so far with 8.
Not a bad batting average, 364 and 22 at-bats. He fouls off the first pitch, 0-1.
And he's the guy that we talk about. Well, not we, but I feel like he's not talked about so much. He's so quiet, and he just gets it done quietly. He's hitting in the 8 spot with a 364 average.
The Iowa product DHing tonight. He stands in the lefty batter's box, and